Okie doke, welcome to lesson 4-1 video 2. We are going to graph from factored form where a is not equal to 1. And when I say a is not equal to 1, I am specifically talking about the number that is in front of both sets of linear equations in here that we're multiplying, or both sets of factors, if you will. So here we have one where a is actually equal to -1/2. All right, we're actually going to do these very close to the same way we did the other example, but there's just some other things that happen with this whenever we're doing this. So let's just dive right in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is we learned that calculator trick in the last example. So I'm going to go over and plug my equation here into my calculator. So we're going to do -1/2. And then I will do x plus 2, and then I'll do x minus 4. And now I have that equation in my calculator, and I'll go ahead and click OK, and I'll come back to this in just a little bit. Okay, so let's find our x-intercepts here. So our x-intercepts are going to be where where y is equal to 0. Now, if you come over here, you'll see that I've got a couple places where y is equal to 0. So here where x is equal to 4, and also where x is equal to -2. Okay, and that corresponds with what we have here. Remember, think opposite day when you're looking at these equations here. So I know that if this is a +2, this is going to be -2, 0 for one of my x-intercepts, and I'll go ahead and plot it. And if this one's a -4, this will be +4, 0. So here and here. So those are my x-intercepts. Now from here it's really easy to figure out what my axis of symmetry is just by adding my two x values and dividing by 2. So we'll do -2 plus 4 divided by 2. And that's going to give me 4 minus 2 is 2 over 2 is equal to 1. So I know my axis of symmetry is x is equal to 1. So I'm going to come over here and plot a vertical line here where x is equal to 1. Okay, so that is my axis of symmetry. And then that actually helps me find what my vertex is, because now I can go over to my table here and scroll to where x is equal to 1, and this is telling me that when x is 1, y is 9 over 2, or 4.5. So I'll put both. So whenever x is 1, y is 9 over 2. It's hard to plot 9 over 2. You can convert that to a decimal. It's easier to plot that when it's a decimal. So I'll write both. So this is 1, 4.5. And you'll see here in a second whenever I plot this. So this is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So that's about right there. And I'm actually going to change the color of this so it's easier to see. So here's my vertex. All right, so now we're going to look for where the y-intercept is. And remember, the y-intercept is where x is equal to 0. Okay, so we need to scroll until we find where x is 0 right here, and when x is 0, y is 4. In other words, if I plug a 0 in for x here and do the math, I will get 4. You'll see that. If I plug it a 0 in here and here, I'll get -1 over 2 times 2, because 0 plus 2 is 2, times -4. And then this will multiply to give me -8. -8 times -1/2 is actually +4. And that's exactly what we got here. So the y-intercept is 0, 4. So I'll go plot that too. So 0, 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and reflect that over to get another point, because I know that's 1 away from the axis of symmetry, so it'll be 1 away from that. And it might be beneficial to get another couple points. So maybe we should do, let's see, maybe, I think we have enough between here and here. Maybe if we do like a -3 or -4. So let's pull our calculator out and let's go to, here's a nice one. instead of using -3, -7 over 2, I'm going to use -4, -8. So let's go plot that. -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then on the other side, it's going to be symmetric, right? So let's scroll until we find where y is equal to -8 right here. There it is. So my other point will be 6, -8. You could have also seen that that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away from the axis of symmetry. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away here. And that is, in fact, 6, -8, just like we got here. And you can start to see that shape taking on. Okay? And then you can sketch in your parabola. Now, a couple things to note. This parabola is actually facing down, and that's because we talked about in video 1 that that value is negative. So because of that, it's going to be facing down. Another thing to note is that our a value is 1/2. When that value is a number that's bigger than 0 but less than 1, in this case 1/2, your parabola is going to get a little bit skinnier, and you can't really tell here because I don't have anything to compare it to, but if I were to graph the parent function would actually be a little bit wider than that one. Alright, so you've got a couple U-tries you can try, and other than that, I will see you in the next video.